All right, Gospel Diaries, this has been an exhausting day, but in the most pleasant and sweetest way in the world. But you will not believe, well, you see the caption, so you know, but I'm in the moment right now, so that's why I talk like this. But I am with a living legend, Mr. Percy Gray. Praise the Lord.
What's up, baby? How you feeling?
Listen, say hi to Gospel Diaries.
Hello, everybody. How you all getting along?
Wow. Listen, Percy Gray, your music is the soundtrack to so many people's lives. Tell us, are you from Chicago?
I'm from Chicago. I know I sound like I'm from the South, but I'm from Chicago. I know I got that heavy Southern accent, but I'm from
But
Chicago.
you're from Chicago. West Side, East Side, South Side.
Well, originally from West Side. West Side?
West Side. I can't do whatever.
I can't do it either. I can't do it either.
So you were raised in a religious home?
Yes.
And how was that for you?
Oh, man, it was great. You know, church, we went to church. See, we went to church on Wednesday. No, let me get it ready. Then on Tuesday was choir rehearsal, senior choir rehearsal, which I had to go, although I was a kid, but mom made us go with her. Wednesday was Bible class. Friday was tarrying service. Had to be down there in the front row, tarrying for the Holy Ghost. And Saturday was youth day choir rehearsal, and Sunday all day.
All day.
So yeah, but I enjoyed it.
Wow. Did you all bring lunches to church on Sundays?
No, we didn't bring lunch. We wasn't that country. We had a kitchen at the church.
Okay. So when did you kind of take a liking to music? Has it always been?
Well, what happened, I was about 10 years old, 10 or 11. So I'd play it safe, say between 10 and 12.
Play it safe, right?
Yeah, play it safe. And I got in trouble, so I couldn't go out to play. My mother made me stay upstairs in the house, so we grew up in the projects. And there was this guy on the radio named Milton Bronson, Brother Milton Bronson. And church was all right to go, but I didn't like the music until I heard him. Since I was upstairs, couldn't go outside, he would play music. In the first 30 minutes, he would play nothing but his music. Mm-hmm. So I guess he was biased, I guess. But anyway, I liked it. It was different. It was just a whole different sound with him and Jesse Dixon. So I grabbed a hold to it from that point.
Wow.
Then the next week, I wasn't in trouble.
And what happened?
But I found myself coming back upstairs during the hours of 12 to 2 to listen to him, because he just did something for me, to me, rather.
So, and it was gospel music that
Gospel
really.
music.
So, what do you think? Well, you can't really explain it.
I don't know
Right.
what I was thinking. I was thinking that I never heard no music like this done in the church. It was church music, and I was like, because at our church we didn't have nothing. Most churches just had an organ. They had a piano, but a flower pot was sitting on top of it. You know, and of course there was no drum. Mm-hmm. So when I heard this music, I'm hearing drums, bass, guitar, piano. I'm hearing a whole orchestra, a whole band, and that captivated me.
Wow. Now, is it safe to say that as you retrospect today, you know, do you think that some of the things that you went through as a child kind of showed up in some of the songs that you wrote as an adult, or?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I can say is that before the gospel music, I used to listen to Motown.
Motown.
Okay, and so I guess that music, when I got to the point that I can record my own music, I guess some of those influence shows up in my music.
Oh, okay. You
know, because it's funny because a lot of people say I have two sides. They say that I'm too contemporary, and then other people say I'm too traditional.
Wow.
You know, so I don't know. I guess the contemporary side showed up in the Motown era, I guess.
Wow. God has gifted you with just the know-how to narrate.
Yeah.
But your tone is awesome. It's good too, you know?
You know, I tell people, and I don't have to tell people, once they hear me, they know that I'm not a singer. But what God has done, God has anointed me to sing His praises. And I remember when God told me to open my mouth and sing, and I told the Lord, in the spirit that was on me, and I said, I'm not no singer. And he said, open your mouth. He said, I'm gonna bless a lot of people coming your way. So,
Wow.
So on the natural side, no, I'm not a singer.
Wow.
I'm not a singer. So don't pass me the mic when people get to going. You know how people get to sing, then they pass the mic around. Don't give me no mic. Don't give me no mic. You know, I'm not a singer like that.
All right, so this is segment number 1. We'll be right back. All right, so Percy Gray.
Yes, sir.
So just take us to the first song you wrote. Do you remember the first song you wrote?
Yes. Father, I thank you for the mountains. Father, I thank you for the valleys. Father, I thank you for all you done for me. So that was it. Mm-hmm. Everybody say hallelujah. Dun, 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 dun. Hallelujah. Dun, dun. Father, we thank you for what you've done for me. That's the first song I wrote.
Did you record it?
I got a chance to record it with an artist. She was local. Maybe about 20 years after that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing it again.
Wow.
With a twist to it.
Wow. So I mean, we can go so far and back and forth with the different groups that you organize and things. I know. I want to start in my era, and then we can kind of go back to the early '80s with the choir.
Oh,
but let's just hit New Direction really fast.
New Direction, it's my brother.
How did that come about?
How that came about? My brother Gerald Gray, he organized it, and he asked me to come aboard to be the older statesman, the senior, the supervisor.
The supervisor.
You know, so when I was coming, he so happened by me being a writer, and he being a writer. We just started writing songs, and we had, of course, we had a youth group, so we couldn't write traditional per se. We could, but you know, but we had to give them something that was on their line, you know, that's on their flavor. So that's what we did. So we stepped out on faith, and we went through a lot because people were like, "Y'all let them kids do anything they want," but we didn't. We had structure, you know. They had structure. But so we embraced the contemporary sound for them.
So let's go to, like, of course, you know, the classic with Lighthouse. So,
oh yeah,
what was the development of the song?
Well, actually, my brother came up with an idea, and it was about dun 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 dun, you know. And we got grabbed. I was like, man, that's hooky. That's hooky. You know. I said, let me get on that. You know. So we wrote it together. You know, and the thing about it, what's so funny about it, if I can just hurry on through it, I know you ain't got a lot of time.
Oh, stop it.
But the thing about it, we was in the studio recording the song with the young lady, and she couldn't get this one part right. Imani. She couldn't get this one part right. And it took, one little part. And I said, you know what, this going to be a hit song, because this taking us too long. We had I'm just saying something, but I had no idea that it was going to do what it did.
Wow. What's the first line of the verse?
Here's my thought.
Here's my plea.
Yeah.
Lord, let your Holy shine on me. I wonder if you hear my prayer. I know I'm not worthy, but I need your help. Lord, shine your light. Shine it this way. Shine it so I can see which way to take. My faith is in you to see me through. I have a question. Okay, so you know I know.
Yeah, I think you know it. Yeah. Hey, y'all don't pay no attention to our voices. I already gave my disclaimer. I couldn't sing, right?
And then I love what Imani said, sing it, y'all.
I'm out. Right. And the reason why I believe she did that, because we was took so long to get that one part. So we finally got through it. She just, y'all sing it, I'm out, you know. So that was great.
Man, that was so much fun.
And I caught a lot of slack for that song.
Really?
We caught a lot of slack for that song. I had a radio announcer get on the radio, and I thought it was so wrong and crushing. You know, I respect people's opinion because everybody's opinion is different. But he got in there and said, "I would never play this song on my radio station. This is not gospel."
What?
And the young people was hurt about it. But to make fast forward straight ahead, he came back and apologized like 2 months later and said he was wrong. He got on the radio like he did and said, this song has blessed a lot of young people. And that's what we were trying to captivate. We weren't trying to catch Thomas Dorsey fans base. You know, we were trying to catch that age bracket that New Direction was in, that whole market.
Oh yeah.
You know, so it was good that he came back and said, but that was a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah. Well, with each episode of Gospel Diary, I think the name is coming more clear because, like, when you look back at it, like, they criticized it, but it ain't nothing but just the metaphor or the phrase that history repeats itself because they did the same thing that Thomas Dorsey. And look, now it's like, can we go back to Lighthouse?
Right, exactly, right. So now our Lighthouse is traditional.
Can we please go back to Lighthouse? Right. Well, man, thank you so much. So, Joshua Street.
Yeah.
Man, you just done some incredible. No, before we go to Joshua Street, I want to do praise too. So I was fortunate to, with my father, to videotape the recording that you are on Vince. Was it Vincent?
Yeah.
That album, man. Like, look, this is how much I loved it. You had the storm. All I can do is pray the storm has arrived. That you had that. You had Lighthouse on there. Michi did What More Can He Do? And the Grace and so many other songs. Praise to. What was the vision? Like, how did
the vision, well, this is what happened. Here it is.
Tell us what happened.
How vision came, our vision, Lord.
You think about Rosie Hart?
Yeah, Rosie Hart is my best friend, one of my best friends.
Shout outs to Sister Rosie Hart.
Praise to how it came about. I had a group, I might be going too fast, but called Chapter Ministry Singers. And then, of course, we had New Direction. New Direction was like our chapter, they were like our sons and daughters and nieces was in the group. So by the group, they started taking New Direction, started taking engagement. And you know, by us being new, a lot of them wouldn't show up. So some chapter members, you know, we would fill in to make the numbers work. So then when we did that, you got chapter was basically traditional, edgy, but the traditional. And New Direction was contemporary. So when we sung together, it bounced off each other, which gave it another sound. So then I said, I had favor with the record companies at the time. So then I said, well, let's do a record. And let's combine the two, and let's call it Praise To.
Oh, okay.
So it was New Direction and Chapter Ministry Singers. And then along came my cousin, Tony Tidwell.
Oh, Righteous Living.
Righteous Living. So that's how Praise 2 came about.
But look, y'all, I mean, I know I'm like having a fan moment right now, but it's okay because you only get chances like this once in a lifetime. But can I please tell you this, man? Like the Praise 2, the album, the first album, like when you had New Revelation. No, that wasn't the first one. The first one was, I can't remember all the songs on the first one, but the one that was Stop By Here and
Somebody Needs You.
Man, dude,
Stop By.
I remember when they used to play the song on the radio. Back in that day, they still had the cassette players.
Yeah.
I run and I try to press record.
Yeah.
Hey, I remember one time I finally caught it, but it missed the first part. But I used to be downstairs playing the drums too.
Man, that was.
I wonder who that is. I wonder who that is doing the intro on here. Hopefully y'all can hear it.
I'll tell you, those Praise 2 days were some good days. And here's the deal. We made, I think in our lifetime, our recording time, then we made 3 records. And we used to take engagements, but we never practiced. Never had rehearsed. One time we rehearsed when we learned to practice before do a record.
Wow.
Other than that, we never practiced, and the moments were special. We'd come to rehearsal, and And sometimes it would bounce off like this. We'll be at rehearsal, and we get to singing, and all of us family, all of a sudden, New Direction would jump up, start just out of nowhere, just start singing a song and whatnot, you know. Then all of a sudden, Chapter will bring us to start singing their song. And so we have this friendly competition thing going, but they always our kids and nieces and nephews. But it was just great camaraderie just to be together, you know, some good times.
Yeah, man. And why it's on my mind, because I don't want to forget, rest in peace, Marlo Cribs.
Marlo Cribs.
Thank you so much for Spirit. Thank you so much for
God.
all of your labor.
Special guy. Yeah. Special guy. I remember when Marlo Cribs, he wrote this Nobody Like Early one Sunday morning.
Oh, he wrote that?
He wrote
that.
Did
that. Yeah.
And then he wrote Pray We All Be Ready. That's
Pray We All Be Ready.
Yeah. And then he was such a very important part of our camp. We used to do this annual Christmas concert. You know, the famous.
It used to be at Liberty.
Right, we did Liberty last 2 or 3 years. And he was the MC. And somebody was asking me, matter of fact, last week, why don't we get back and do it? And I said, I'm not really feeling it because Marlo plays such an important role there, and it just be so hard as he would narrate the songs or whatnot. You know, but Marlo was a jewel.
Well, as I digress, you know, of course, you just said something about narrate the song, man. What? Okay, you up with Chicago Mass, right?
Yeah.
And you doing where is this ad lib coming from?
Man, I always had this imagination. I always imagine I just could believe it or not. I'm not a talker.
Yeah.
Lord, your word came about. I was working at Fellowship. Reverend Jenkins was the pastor at the time, and he came into the meeting. We had a musician meeting. He said, "Listen, y'all, talk to the music team." He said, "We're gonna start doing some praise and worship music."
Okay.
And I was like, I'll be honest. I was like, oh man, I ain't into praise and worship like that. So I was like, well, the only thing I can do is write it. So then the song came about. That's how Lord, your word came about.
Man, I remember when that CD came out, I was just, I listened to the whole thing over. But it was like, with your CDs, it's like you listen to one song, and it's like, you try to get to the next song, but you're like, oh, but I want to get some more of the other one. You know
That's a blessing. I'm glad you received it.
Yeah, man, I really do.
It was twofold. It was like, it was a ministry. No matter how contemporary it is, or traditional is, they always, if you really look at the songs, they had a message. The message. No matter how contemporary one group may be, trust me, there's a message. If you stop and just take away the music and just go in on you can go in on the lyrics.
Man,
the other thing is, if it's just fun, that's doing something that you love to do and with others. You render your gifts, I render my gifts, and we put them together and create this explosion.
And just back on the message, like, I kid you not, like, I live in Phoenix, Arizona. I was
down there. Good weather. Where it's 102 degrees.
Oh, stop. I'll be burning up. I don't know why.
At 8 o'clock in the morning.
But look, I promise you, I was in the house, and I just kept hearing this familiar song. And I go to the door. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Then I go downstairs. And the sun is gonna shine.
Oh man!
And this was like she wasn't African American either. And I'm like,
you told me that.
Yeah. But it's like it hit me. I was like, what, really?
That song is special.
Yeah.
I normally don't write a lot of times from experience, from other people's experience, but this particular time. One of the mothers at the church, I think I told you, I'm not sure, but if I told you, you're going to hear it again.
Okay, thank you.
If I didn't, it's going to be personal. What happened is that one of the mothers at the church, she was testifying service when they used to have testifying service. And she got up and testified how she was going through with one of her children. And and it hurt, you could see the hurt on her. And that stayed with me until we got home that Sunday night. Then the words just came. So many nights I cried. For better days I prayed for. But through it all, I know the sun is going to shine. In other words, Jesus is going to show up if you hold out. So don't hang in there, because weeping may endure for a night. Trouble don't last always. Joy comes in the morning.
Comes in the morning. And on that note, we're going to be back because we got to talk about I Can Go to the Rock and all those fabulous songs with Chicago Mass Choir. But before I go, I'm going to go because I get to talking because that early Chicago Mass, man, that Please Don't Leave Me, that
Wow.
Bye. All right, you guys, we're back. Ain't this a nice little view here now? Back with Dr. Percy Gray. All right, so Percy Gray, let's talk about your early years with Chicago Man. How did you get involved with Chicago Man?
Well, it's a long story, but I'll make it short as possible.
Okay.
My brother went to a workshop with one of his friends, Kenny Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
My brother Gerald Gray, and they was looking for some songs, and he wasn't going there for that. He was just hanging out with this guy Kenny Campbell, and so they asked him, "Did he have any songs?" So then he said, "Yeah, my brother writes songs." So I was working at the time, so he called me and asked me, and told me that they needed some songs. So I told him, "Yeah, teach them everybody that's praised the Lord," and he taught it, and ever since then we've been connected.
Wow. So you met James Chamberlain?
Yes, I met James Chamberlain. Yeah. What's wrong, man?
See, it touched his heart. You're always in the episodes, Jerome. So you touch his heart.
Yeah.
Because nobody mentions James.
Yeah.
James is a very intricate part in Chicago gospel history.
Yeah.
He just left here too soon.
Yeah, Chicago Man, and they're still going. Shouts out to Ferranda Williamson. Man, we love you for real.
That's for real.
Thank you so much for keeping the vision alive. And the music that oh God. Even though I know you producer, but technically, like, she could be like, I don't want to do choir no more. She could do, but she keeping it going.
She keeping it going,
so that's cool.
Her and James was very good friends.
Yeah.
Sure was.
Very good friends, and she honors him to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And she keeps his name alive.
You go to ChicagoMass.com, the first places you see is James Chamber in that purple or whatever lavender robe.
Yeah.
So I Can Go to the Rock. Did you write that song?
Yes, sir.
Let's take a moment real quick. Father, I stretch my hands to you.
You crazy, ain't you?
No, serious. Like, do you that song? Like the way you wrote it, it seemed like it has always been here. You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds like it's just always. But you wrote the song. Because when I first heard it, I was like, oh, they probably been singing this for like probably 100 years or something. Like, golly, I know this song, I love this song, but you wrote it.
And it almost didn't make the record.
Why?
What happened is that every year we would have a workshop, the Chicago Mass workshop, and I had written a song called Jesus is Real. So I went to James. I said, James, I got another song. And he said, Percy, you can't do two songs. He said, you see all these writers here? I said, well, I got another song. He said, you can't do it. And so I taught the first song, Real to Me, that Monday. That Thursday, James came to me and said, at rehearsal, he said, Percy, present your other song. Now, I don't know the reason why he allowed that to happen. So then that's when I was able to teach I Can Go to the Rock.
Well, I thank God for it. So how did you, did they reach out to you for the preacher's wife? How did that happen?
No, that just happened on its own. You know, it just so happened. It just happened.
And how did it feel? How did it feel to hear your baby? Because your songs are like your kids. Are they? No.
I never looked at it like that, but okay, I see where you're coming from.
Okay. So they're your kids. They're birthed from you, well, through God, vicariously, you know what I'm saying. But to hear and see it on the big stage, on the big screen.
It was honoring. It was shocking.
Yeah.
You know, very humbling experience.
And then not just anybody singing it, but Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston.
Did you get a chance to meet her?
No, never got a chance to meet her.
I'm sure she probably knew you.
Yeah, our record company did.
Wow. So, I mean, it's so much we could talk about, but I do want to kind of add in here Reed's Temple, because that is an important part in your career. Like, okay, so I think it was the Keep On Making the Way album, the last song, didn't you do My Soul Cries Out? Or was that on the one before?
My soul cried out. I didn't write that.
I know, but you still put it on there.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Tiller wrote that, right? Shouts out to Tony Tiller.
That's my cousin.
Mr. I got a testimony on it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I was like, I'm listening to it. I'm like, oh, you're consistent. You just put hit after hit, but keep on making the way. How do you come up with these simple songs and just? I have two songs that are very touching to me.
Mm-hmm. That is one, because. And that isn't supposed to be on the record either. What happened? My son had got killed. Yeah, there's a story about my son that got killed, and we was in the studio working on the Shirley Caesar record. Me and New Direction was in the studio working with Shirley, Pastor Shirley, put a handle on that. And what happened is I got the call, said my son was in the hospital, he just got shot. And fast forward, the enemy spoke to my mind and said, look at you doing all this church stuff, doing all this music stuff, and look what happened to your son. And so I lost the energy. So at that point I said, I'm not doing this church music no more. You know, and then fast forward one day, because it was hard, it was rough, because I was a good father. I was there all the time. I was dad. So one day I got up, and months later, and the birds was chirping, and the cars, you could hear the cars passing down the street, and I realized that, man, God, I'm still here. I still got my mind. I thought I was gonna go crazy, and then the word just came: keep on making a way, over and over. Oh man, I get emotional when I think about that. So what happened? I went to rehearsal.
Always bringing me out. My God from Zion.
Yeah. I went to rehearsal, and I said, I'm going to record the song at rehearsal. It's not for the record. I'm just going to teach it and just keep it for myself. You know, after we recorded from the recording truck, I'm just going to keep it to myself. And what happened, they didn't supposed to send that song in. And they got somebody sent it in, and the record company guy said, because I was talking about the other songs, and he said, well, what about that song that you did? And I was like, well, no, that song is just for me personally. He said, I should share it. You should put it out and share it. So that's how that song came about.
I mean, the list just goes on. We can just talk about these songs. I mean, like, did you write You Love Me? Like,
Yes.
Straight Away?
Yes, me and my brother, yes.
Matter of fact, I want to take this time to pay great homage to Gerald Gray, man. Thank you so much, man, for real. This segment right here, man, we love you for real, dude.
Right.
For real.
Right.
Yeah. But last but not least, let's talk about that first choir that you formed in the early 80s.
1982.
The year was 1982.
That choir was formed. It is the real story. Again, it's the truth. The choir was formed because I was kicked out the church choir. I was kicked out the church choir politely. You know, and was encouraged. I ain't gonna tell you the pastor's name.
Please don't.
But I was encouraged to start my own group because I was too contemporary. And they were like, it's about time you need your own group. I didn't want my own group. I didn't know nothing about starting my own group. I didn't know nothing about it. And I said, no. And they said, no, well, You might as well take it because you ain't staying here. You know, so that's how the group got started, you know, that way. So I was determined to keep it going. I said, I'm going a year just to prove that I can do it, although I didn't know what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But everything's happened for a reason, and it took that to push me into my destiny.
Wow. Well, I think, you know, I just thank God, you know, that you didn't allow your gift to lie dormant. You know, you have, I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm going to keep saying this while I have an opportunity, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know, seriously. Like,
I'm serious. Thank you.
I mean, I have listened to your music thoroughly. You know what I'm saying?
I see, and I appreciate it. I don't take that for granted.
Yeah,
It lets me know.
I'm trying not to cry.
It lets you know that you don't never know who's listening to your music.
Right. I'm gonna get off here because I'm not about to get emotional. All right, so what you say? What you say?
No, I thank God for people like you that because I don't do it for recognition.
Right.
I do it because God put in my spirit to bless people. And so when I hear everyday people that come up to me and say what things that you say, it goes a long way.
Right.
You know? And I don't do it for the fame and this and that, because the Bible says if you seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then all the other stuff will be added on to you.
That's what it says.
See, but first seek ye first the kingdom of God. So I see God first, and whatever happens from that point, it happens. It's supposed to happen. You know, but so when I hear people like you know, that follow the music and been blessed, touched by it, and let me know that God is still on the throne.
Oh yeah. And we pretty much about to get on out of here, but I don't know, this just came to mind because I know a lot of the musicians going to be watching. So I'm going to try to name as many musicians as I can that I know. Okay, so Benjamin, right? Organist, right? Benjamin Moore, Terrell Edwards, drummer.
You pastor now.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I'm sorry, Pastor. Gerald Gray, not Gerald, Scooter, what's
Scooter Gray?
Yeah, Scooter Gray.
Oh, you talking about Scooter?
Gerald's son.
Yeah, Gerald's son.
Yeah. Who else we got? Curtis Lindsay played for a little while.
He's still part of it.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
He played with Mama Sepp now. He's Mama Sepp's MD.
Yeah. Who else? I can't think. Teddy Campbell. Yeah. Come on, Eric. Think of someone else. Did Red ever play for you?
Red.
On the drum?
No, Red never played. Okay. He might have sat in on one time,
what
but
about,
he wasn't.
Maddox?
Which one?
Leonard? Or?
Leonard Maddox, the old man?
No, not the older, the juniors,
Yeah, Junior played for us sometime.
Okay.
With Joshua True.
What about Vince Davis? Did he ever play?
Vince Davis, no, that's my guy. No, Vince never played for. That's my guy, though, Vince.
Can you think of any more musicians?
Wow,
what was the basic? Rodney Jones, right?
Rodney Jones, that's my guy. Little Rodney Jones. That's my guy.
Who did lead?
We wasn't heavy on leads, but a guy named Buck.
Oh yeah, Buck. Derek Buck.
Derek Buck.
Yeah.
Joey Wolfall.
Yeah, Joey Wolfall. So who would you say was one of the main drummers for through the Great Boy camps?
Well, you know who started with Great Boy? You got Terrence Williams.
Oh man, Terrence
Williams.
If you watch this, please contact me. I've been trying to get in contact.
Terrence Williams was with us from pretty much the beginning, of the Great Boy production.
Wow.
And then we got a bass player. We call him Bub. His name Eugene Harris. We call him Bub. He did all the Reese Temple records except one, and did a lot of Chicago Mass records. You know, he was that guy.
And last but not least, lead singers, we're not going to leave you out. One of my favorites, Valerie Houston, Imani Wilkerson, I think that's the last name.
As a matter of fact, they was cousins.
Yeah, cousins. Charlie Miller.
You went way back. Felicia Welch.
Monica, Agnew, I think. She did with Joshua True.
Yeah, Monica Agnew.
Charles Middleton.
Charles Hamburger. I'm glad you said Charles. People was calling Hamburger. I said, man, you too old. Say you too old for folks to be calling you Hamburger.
Okay. I know he's going to be laughing when he see this. I'm trying to think, come on, give me another lead. Well, I can't think of it. It's out. But listen, you got anything else to say?
I just thank God for the opportunity.
Okay. And as I say always, love on someone, and I really mean it. Love on someone.
Let me say it.
Okay.
Love
on someone.
Love on someone.
And change a life.
And change someone's life.
There you go.
Love on someone.
And change their life.
Change their life.
There you go.
Someone's life.
There
That's a good saying.
Thank you.
It's a good saying. And y'all excuse me the way I look at it. Y'all see that gray? I died the gray.
What?
My brother said, why? The joke, man.
Bye, you guys.